What's going on, family? I was just sitting here debating if I wanted to make a video or not, but I might as well. I thank God for another day. And yeah, Trump ain't playing. But just my speculation of it, you know what I'm saying? They've been trying to build these smart cities up. And when they build the smart cities up with the surveillance and things like that, they want the smart cities to only be qualified for people with high income or a substantial amount of income. So they're trying to push a certain type of community out of the cities. So it's almost like a reverse effect. Remember where all the projects was built around the cities, and it's just start getting a lot of the people to move out the cities to the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? The hoods back in the day, like in the 70s, and that's where it was like a middle class, and then it just started turning into lower class, and then the projects got real bad and stuff, where they're trying to, I guess, get back to that phase where all the middle class and upper class, you know what I'm saying, is in the cities, and the people are gonna be pushed out towards. It's like a reverse effect. They're gonna make the suburbs kind of like the projects. They're gonna push all the, you could say mainly blacks. You know what I'm saying? Because statistics, the majority of the lower class are blacks. Push them out of the cities. So first they have to clean the homelessness. So it's like you can't, it's going to get to a point where it's not going. You can't just freely be in the cities. Like it's like a community. You know what I'm saying? Unless you going in there, going to the movies, or you going to shopping, or you doing something like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's almost gonna get to a point where you can't loiter, you know what I mean, in these cities. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's going toward the future. Like now, anybody from any class, anybody can just mope around cities and just chill and stuff like that. It's going to be more than just being like having a tent set up, in public parks and alleyways and stuff like that. They've been shut down a lot of the communities, the lower class, and push them on out to the outskirts so they can build these smart cities. Talking about making the cities beautiful is going to be beautiful for people who have money. You know what I'm saying? But for people who are struggling, that's in the struggle, it's going to be ugly. They're going to push all the people that's struggling out towards the suburbs, towards the outskirts, towards the country. You know what I'm saying? And the businesses and all that stuff going to get set up, the automation era, the AI, it's going to be futuristic. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be beautiful in the eyes of people that have money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of jobs is going to be taken over through the automation phase, through the AI phase and stuff like that. So that's why, like, I see like the Donald Trump and Elon Musk beef is kind of fake. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want people to see what's going to be happening in these years. You know what I'm saying? The future is here. And right now, they've been setting up narratives for crime and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's basically fitting the black narrative. That's why all of a sudden in the media is going viral with a lot of Caucasian, a lot of other races saying that they having black fatigue. You know what I'm saying? And they just associate blacks. Well, a lot of the ratchet blacks, you know what I'm saying, are what they call ratchet blacks. Loudmouth, aggressive, hip hop, all this. Them type of people, they want to push them out. You know what I'm saying? With ICE and illegal immigrants, at the time when they didn't have this automation era, they needed those immigrants, you know what I'm saying, because they didn't have to pay that much. But now that they about to introduce the automation era phase, they're not going to need them. They can have machines do the work. They're not going to need. So that's why they pushing out the illegal immigrants out too. and they pushing out the homeless. You know what I'm saying? They pushing that out. That's what's happening. You know, and we're watching it. You know what I'm saying? And Trump was just the perfect person that they could use to push this out, so people could just put the blame on him. But it don't matter who they put in the office, it's still going to move towards this agenda. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning up. And people think that they're going to start a revolution, but there's not too much revolution you could do against a whole army. You know, the U.S. Army, you know, them folks are known for bullying, you know, other countries that's even more brutal than so-called gangsters here in America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the best bet, you know, is just to be a law-abiding citizen. And then I don't know how that's going to go about with the gang stalking. I think it would actually make the gang stalking worse because of the more surveillance. You know what I'm saying? So it just sucks to be T.I., a black man and a person with a criminal background. But it also will make you better. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no room for foolishness. You don't, you know what I mean? You see, like, these people is cracking down. You know what I'm saying? That they're not playing no games, no type of way, no type of fashion. You know what I'm saying? People think it's cool now to break the law and stuff like that, where they really finna be starting to hold people accountable. You know, in DC, they want to even hold the juveniles more accountable. You know, they want to hold them more accountable. You know what I'm saying? They're getting ready to change laws. So if they finna do this for the juvenile, where they got to be more accountable, you know what I'm saying? They're not playing. You know, even Trump got to the point where he said, "Does anybody touch one of those Washington monuments or those statues, or presidential statues, just by touching it?" You know what I'm saying? 10 years. The only one, you know what I'm saying? He ain't playing. You know, so folks need to, when they listening to this rap music, watching movies, thinking it's cool to break the law and do drugs and stuff like that, it's gonna be a penalty to pay. You know, it's not a crime to be homeless, but they're really cracking down on people being homeless in these cities, major cities. These major cities are finna get redesigned into a smart city. You know what I'm saying? And they just want it for people who have money. You know, they want it as a setting for people to feel comfortable who have money to be in these cities. You get what I mean? It's no longer going to be the slums and all that street gangster activity going on in the cities. Like, you want to do all that stuff, they're going to push you out to the country. You can do all that gangster stuff out in the country, all that gangster stuff out in the suburbs. So it's going to start pulling people from the suburbs to the city and pushing all the lower class people out towards the suburbs and the outskirts. This is just, I see that is what's happening, you know, slowly but surely. And right now, the two main people they targeting is homeless people and illegal immigrants. But as you see, the media having black fatigue and stuff like that. So it's just another excuse to go ahead and push these folks out. And how they use it is by the class. You know what I'm saying? Because most black people done fumbled the bag and they got a criminal record. Or they caught up in these gangs, or they caught up in some type of street activity. You know what I'm saying? And their mind is diluted by that. And they just can't compute being a law-abiding citizen. They're not programmed. A lot of people not programmed like that. And there's a lot of blacks that are programmed that way. You know what I'm saying? So this is not for those black people. But still, you know, racism still going to be in the midst. You get what I'm saying? But those black people, they got to compromise some form, some type of fashion, you know? So I just got to wait. I'm just waiting to see what's going on. But for folks taking this stuff lightly about this Trump thing, you know, just pay attention. With that being said, family, peace.